Hey everyone, I'm Flora, and you are watching another episode of Hey Flora. And I want to answer a question that is another one that I just have gotten so many times that I know it's a general question that you might have, and that is, people are always curious how often I paint. Like, do I have a daily practice? Do I paint every week? Do I keep a schedule? All those things, I've gotten those questions many times. So I'll just give you a little insight into my own art making practice. First of all, I'll just say that it is very, very important to me that I do stay connected to my own painting practice as a painting teacher. I think it's, it's the place for me that I always get my new ideas, and it just allows me to stay connected to the actual process that I'm sharing with other people. So it's super important to me. However, it is not something I do every day. And there's a few reasons for that. One is that I just have a lot of other moving parts to my business. So I do a lot of writing, I do a lot of things like filming, I do a lot of teaching. And so I just, painting every day is not really in my, scope of reality in terms of having that much time. But also I find it really, really important to fill my well of inspiration. And so what that looks like for me, there's so many ways I do that. I take a lot of walks, I take a lot of photos, I read, I listen to a lot of podcasts, I look at other artists, I go out and experience other art forms. All of these things I do through the lens of gathering inspiration. So knowing that, next time I step up to my canvas, I've got a full well to work with. I'm not just going there so often that, I'm on this kind of hamster wheel of like constantly having to output creative energy. There's a really important part of taking in. It's almost like an inhale so that you have something to exhale. So for me, I tend to work in little spurts, where I'll have like a few days in a row where I'm really in the studio working on a series or something like that. And my goal is to paint once a week, or at least one or a couple days a week. What that actually ends up looking like is more like a spurt every couple weeks. So that's currently where I'm at. My art practice also really ebbs and flows. There'll be times where it's like all about being in the studio for me, and then other times I really take bigger breaks. And so I think one of the important things that I've had to just come to peace with over, I've been painting for 25 years now, is that just to understand that it is, it's never the same. It's not like this is how I show up and I do this every week of every month of every year. It's like, it's always, my creative process is always fluctuating based on my life, based on my time, my energy, my travel schedule. And so not to, beat myself up if I'm not showing up as much as I think I should be, but just to know that there's many ways to fill that well. And so that's the thing that I'm most committed to staying connected to. So, I created the whole Creative Revolution e-course kind of came out of my desire to live creatively and to find ways to infuse creativity into all aspects of my life. So it's not about just those moments where I step up to the canvas. That's not my only time I'm creative. That is one expression, but that really, it's like every single day, how can I wake up and stay connected to my own creativity? And so I've come up with a lot of ways to do that, and they all sort of ultimately feed into my expression through painting. So that's just a few thoughts on my schedule. I am working on trying to be a little more consistent, like having certain days dedicated as studio days, but that is one of my personal challenges, I will say, is to stay committed to those schedules. But, I always keep, I kind of fall off the horse and then I get back on and just keep trying to keep some degree of schedule that also allows quite a bit of freedom in that as well. So I hope you find that helpful. If there's any more questions you have that you'd like me to riff on for a Hey Flora episode, let me know, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks so much.